The dua you cried over the most, you still believe Allah never answered it. What if He did? There is a dua you stopped making, not because you stopped believing in Allah, because somewhere along the way, the silence started to feel like an answer, and the answer you heard was no. I want to challenge that word, ignored, because that is not what happened. Zakariyya, peace be upon him, called upon his Lord, asking for a child. After years of barrenness, after his body had grown old, he prayed, "My Lord, do not leave me alone, though you are the best of inheritors." He was not given a child that day, not that month, not that year. The silence in his life lasted longer than most of us could bear to keep asking through. But he kept asking. Years later, Yahya was born, which means Allah had never ignored the dua. He had been preparing its answer all along. Here is the mistake almost all of us make. We treat the gap between asking and receiving as evidence of rejection, as if Allah's silence is a closed door, instead of what it often is, a door still being built. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said something that should change how you understand every unanswered dua. He taught that when a believer asks Allah, as long as it is not for something sinful or for breaking family ties, Allah responds in one of three ways. He gives exactly what was asked, or He turns away an equivalent harm, or He stores it, complete, for the day you will need it more than you have ever needed anything. Every single dua you have ever made was heard. Not one of them was lost. So why does the silence still feel like rejection? Because we are not used to waiting without explanation. We live in a world of instant replies, instant deliveries, immediate results. Without realizing it, we begin expecting the same speed from Allah. But Allah is never late. He is always precise. The Prophet, peace be upon him, warned us about the moment many of us eventually reach. A person remains upon goodness, he said, so long as they do not become impatient and say, "I made dua and I was not answered." That sentence, "I prayed and nothing happened," is the moment the dua risks being abandoned by the servant, not by Allah. So I want you to go back for a moment to the dua you stopped making, the one you quietly decided had been ignored. It wasn't. It is either already shaping something you cannot yet see, or it has been preserved, complete, waiting for the day you will need it most. Zakariyya did not know Yahya was coming during those years of silence. He simply kept calling. That is the part of the story we often overlook. The miracle was not only that his dua was answered, it was that his heart never stopped asking. Perhaps that is the greater lesson. Faith is not continuing to ask because you know when the answer will come. Faith is continuing to ask because you know who is listening. So make the dua again, not because you know when it will be answered, but because you finally understand it never stopped being heard. If this reached something in you, share it with someone who has stopped asking, not for the channel, for them. Jazakallahu khairan.